Let me tell you a story. So, for as long as I can remember, I would pray and I would express gratitude in my prayers. You can imagine like you're blessing the food when you're about to eat, or like at night when you go to pray and you're thanking God for things that happened in your life. But I remember I heard this advice online one day about expressing gratitude to like friends and family, and I just thought it was gay. I'll be honest. I thought it was stupid, bro. And then I remember one day I actually tried it. So I was going through a kind of rough time, and I had one of my best friends give me advice. And I remember I was just sitting on the phone with him. I was like, dude, thank you. Like, I remember I was saying, like, dude, if I was like my old friends, I wouldn't have been able to like talk with them about this. Like, I'm so grateful for you. I was like saying, like, bro, I'm so grateful for you. You've like helped me a lot in life. I've gone through so much, and you've been there by my side. And I felt so different that day. I'll be honest, it was actually night. I felt so different that night. I was like in bed and I just felt way more happier. And really, what it is when you're expressing gratitude towards someone, it is just so different nowadays because most people, like, they don't spread light towards others. Like, most people are like this monotonous, like, gray kind of person. They just, like, don't really express gratitude towards people. They don't tell their parents that they're thankful for them. So, what I want you to do is don't be like most people, obviously. Like, if you're watching videos like this, you know that we don't want to be like most people. I need you to start expressing gratitude. It may sound awkward, it may sound gay or whatever, it may sound cringe, but bro, it feels good now. Now that I do it normally, like I'll tell my mom, I'm like, I'm so grateful you pay my gym membership, you buy me the healthy food. Like, not many kids have parents like that who are buying them like healthy food and stuff. And it may feel awkward, honestly, but I mean, it's whatever. You take the advice if you want to. I'm telling you right now, this is one of the best things that you can do for your happiness, not just their happiness. Like, you can see how if you tell someone like, hey man, I'm grateful for you, I'm grateful for you being my best friend and being by my side, I'm grateful for my parents, how they provide for me, you can see how they would feel way more happier. But I'm telling you right now, you do this shit, you will start to feel way more happier yourself. Also, remember hearing this advice online, and this guy literally just said, just smile. He was like, just smile. You could choose your emotions, and if you literally force a smile, then you will like become happy. And I thought it was so weird, and I gave it a try because I was like, why not? And it actually kind of works. My version works a little better. So what I started doing was I would be in the gym, and I would, like, if I noticed that like I had a straight face like this, like I was just like sitting around like during my rest break and I just had a straight face, I would just try to remind myself, okay, I can't be a straight faced NPC. I gotta like smile. So you think about something funny that happened in the past. This is what I always do. So when I notice that I'm like straight faced and I feel kind of bored, I think of something funny that happened in the past, and naturally I start to smile. And it is so weird when your facial muscles start to smile, you just oddly enough feel happier. I know this advice sounds weird, but bro, this is another one of those things, just like gratitude. It's like, it sounds weird, but if you try it, you'll start to just do this all the time because this shit works. So what I want you to do when you notice you're like one of these straight-faced NPCs or whatever, you need to just smile. Be one of these people, and it's honestly attractive. Imagine you see some guy who just looks happy. You'll want to be friends with that kind of guy. And so when you start smiling, you start like think about something funny that happened in the past. That's like the best way for me to force a smile. I think of some like bullshit that happened in school, and I start to laugh, and I start to literally feel happier. It's so weird, but this is something I want you to try. Also, remember a point in my life where I genuinely felt so lost. So I was still going to the gym, like I was starting out in the gym, but something didn't feel right. You see, like I heard like all these self-improvement like online people would say like, oh, get into the gym and like your life will be so much better. And I remember it did get better, but it didn't feel right. It's like there was something missing with my day, and I would go to bed at the end of the day and something was just missing. It felt very unfulfilling still. Like I thought the gym would cure everything, and it somewhat did, but it somewhat didn't, because I just felt unfulfilled. And so, spoiler alert, the thing that it was I didn't have a mission. You see, we are like, as men, we are supposed to have some sort of mission that we are working towards constantly. So for me, I didn't really know what it was until I started like martial arts and YouTube. When I started martial arts and YouTube, it was so clear, because when I was in the gym, you know, it would have been different if like my plan was to be like a bodybuilder. Like, you can see if I wanted to be a bodybuilder, then my mission would be like around bodybuilding, and I would actually feel so much more fulfilled at the end of the day. But the thing was, that wasn't really what I wanted to do. My whole life growing up, I wanted to be a YouTuber, and then I recently wanted to start the martial arts. So I started those two things. I started those two missions. And so just imagine yourself like at the end of the day, after you actually like adjust your life, allocate like all your mental energy towards this mission that you think you want to do. You see, like I've tried so many different missions. Like I remember I wanted to be good at basketball and I failed at it, and then I quit. That's the thing. You don't want to quit whatever your mission is. You want to stick with it, keep working towards it, because remember, when you're like constantly working towards something, that is what keeps you away from this like kind of depressing idle mind. You've heard the saying, I've said it before, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. The thing is, when you don't have a mission to work towards, when you like quit your mission like I did, like if you know my story, I quit playing basketball and then I never did anything for so long. I wasn't even weightlifting or anything. And I just felt really depressed. That's the thing. I didn't have that mission to work towards. You need something in your life right now that you can wake up and say, I am going to work on this today. This is what I'm going to do. That keeps you away from the idle mind. It keeps you busy and it makes you fulfilled. When you go to bed at the end of the day, you feel so much more happier and fulfilled. The last habit I want to tell you about isn't really talked about by a lot of YouTubers. So remember how I said I started that mission, I was doing martial arts and I was doing YouTube. Well, there's something about YouTube that really made me realize the other day, and I made another video about this, but it is just this one thing that makes you so happy, and it is helping others. You don't just see this with YouTube. Like you can imagine how I post content, a lot of people will like DM me on Instagram. If you want to, go check out the link in my bio on YouTube. And they're like thanking me. They're saying like, oh, Carson, your videos changed my life. Like, thank you so much. But you can also see this with like, let's say a preacher or like a missionary or something. You can imagine these people, they go out in the world, they're bringing people closer to God. And you can imagine how fulfilled they are at the end of the day. Imagine going to bed knowing that you brought someone to your religion, whatever your religion is. Maybe like you're Christian or whatever, I don't know. Imagine you can go to bed at the end of the day and you know that you helped someone. You got a message from someone. Like let's say one of your friends is going through a lot and you know they're going through a lot. So you help them and they express that gratitude that we talked about in the first section of this video. It just feels so good when you're constantly helping others. And so like you're trying to think, if you're actually wanting to take action on this advice, like, okay, it's kind of cool to help others. The issue is like, if you try to, let's say, help your parents, like I remember I got my mom into the gym, right? But it's kind of hard to like get some sort of people the help that they need. Like they'll listen, but they don't want to take the action. You can't force someone to take action. You can only like attract people to the advice that you want to help them with. And so the best way I've like found myself to help others is to post content. It sounds kind of scary, like posting content. You gotta like show your face and stuff, but honestly, it is so fulfilling, bro. I just wish you would listen to this, because it's not the advice you want to hear, but it's the advice you need to hear. There's something so cool with posting content and helping others. I'm 18 years old and I'm posting content right now. I'm helping people with their mental health. I'm getting DMs on Instagram of people saying I've like changed their life, and it feels so amazing. It just makes me way more happier than what I used to be. Like, genuinely imagine my younger self compared to now. Like I wasn't doing martial arts, I wasn't doing weightlifting or YouTube, but even imagine like without YouTube, I would have felt way more depressed. Like I didn't have that mission first off, but I didn't really have that sense of like I'm helping others. I didn't have that sort of self-value. I didn't feel valuable towards people. And so when you have people expressing gratitude towards you, saying, bro, thank you for your videos. Thank you for like helping me out with this, helping me out with that, whatever it is. Thank you for bringing me closer to God. There's something, it just makes you feel way happier. It makes you feel so much more valuable. And also, if you start posting content, you could make an online business off of it if you're interested in, entrepreneurship or whatever. But yeah, man, I don't know. There's something beautiful about just helping others, and no one talks about it because it sounds so like, oh, it's cringe, it's gay, whatever. This is what makes me happy, and I know it will make you happy as well. But if you want to learn more about how I got this transformation myself, I have so many like exclusive videos. If you check out in the description, it's on my online course. There's so many exclusive videos in there where you can just learn how I got this transformation step by step, and it is just amazing content. I can't really post it on YouTube, so go check that out. Link in the description, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.